You're watching From the Heart with John Willard.
Hi friends, John Willard here, the gentleman poet, storyteller, and NACA contributor, back for another show and more bone-chilling truth. If you can't load up and come to the Ozarks, then come. Take the journey with me. Blooms are all aglow, soft drafts of perfumed light. Blue sky, white sun, and rolling green hills. Wind blowing makes the treetops talk. The changing seasons pull us like a magnet to new adventure. To make self-motivation work for you, at the top of the list is realistic goals. Your attitude, passion, habits, all need to be realistic. Remember the man that was so upset that the railroad wouldn't pay him for his mule, which it had killed. He said the railroad was so unfair they won't even pay me for my rope. What rope? He was asked. He answered, "Why, sir, the rope I tied the mule to the track with." So there we have it. We need realistic expectations and set attainable goals. The amazing thing about attitude is that it is within your control. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company or a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens and 90% of how we react. Viktor Frankl said it best. We who lived in the concentration camps can remember the people who walked through the huts comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. Wow. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a person but one thing, the last of their freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Now, passionate belief, for over 100 years, people had tried to run the mile in less than 4 minutes. In articles written by doctors, all the scientific reasons were offered as to why it was physically impossible. In 1954, a young man named Roger Bannister ran the mile in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds and made headlines throughout the world. Far more amazing is what happened less than a year afterward. 4 more runners eclipsed the 4-minute mark. How could this be? After thousands of athletes had tried and failed. Well, for the first time, they believed they could do it. In the case of the 4-minute mile, the mental barriers came down. And today, there have been 10 high school boys run a 4-minute mile. Yes, passion is the spark. The degree of passion you have for your work will get you past obstacles. Let me share this Martin Luther King Jr. quote. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted or Beethoven composed music or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep the streets so well that all will pause to say, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. And habits, good or bad, they are hard to break. Thoughts lead to purposes, and purposes go forth into action. Actions form habits, habits decide character, and character fixes our destiny. Make good habits, and they will make you. Many things can hold you back, and one is old baggage. Emotional scars that continue to linger are barriers to your ability to stay motivated. Many people who have been mistreated or abused never forgive. This can put an invisible ceiling on your future. Anger, hate, and resentment are truly like a cancer in our body. They continue to grow unless we deal with them. Letting go of your old baggage can immediately give you the energy and the freedom that you need to grow. Imagine a basketball player with shoes made of steel. After playing the first half of the game in steel shoes, you can imagine how good it would feel to put on a pair of Nikes and go play the second half. Let me share this quote by William Ward. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door of resentment and the handcuffs of hate. It is a power that breaks the chains of bitterness and the shackles of selfishness. Isn't that true? Friends, I'm out of time. But remember, Nagi always said, when you're good to others, you are best to yourself. You can reach me on Twitter at JohnWillard47. If you want me to come to your event, well, I still have my dogs, and you know how that is. Remember, it's not what we gain, but what we give that measures the worth of the life we live. Until next time, friends.